Let's talk about something that keeps a lot of hotel operators up at night: empty rooms. Every single night, thousands of them just sit there, which means millions in lost revenue. Today, we're going to dive into a really powerful strategy, the last-minute strategy, that can turn that potential loss into immediate cash, especially when the market is all over the place. So let's get into it. So here's the fundamental challenge, right? An empty hotel room for the night is basically an asset with an expiration date. Once that date passes, it's worthless. The big question is, how do you take that ticking clock and turn it into actual money in the bank? That's the core problem we're solving today. But before we can jump into the solution, we've got to understand the battlefield. Let's really break down the market challenges that are happening right now, because they're what make this strategy so incredibly important. Okay, so what are we dealing with? The whole situation really boils down to a few key things. First, occupancy is low and it's unpredictable. It's volatile. Second, there's a huge dependency on online travel agencies, or OTAs, like Booking.com. Third, this is a rooms-only business. There's no restaurant, no bar, no F&B to generate extra revenue. So when you put all that together, the objective becomes crystal clear. You have to maximize occupancy, get cash in the door, and boost your visibility on those booking websites. And that brings us right to the heart of the solution: monetizing that empty inventory. Look, this isn't about some complicated, long-term forecasting model. It's about a simple but really powerful choice that you have to make every single day. Let's just be super blunt about it. The revenue you get from a room that goes unsold is a big, fat zero. It's a perishable good. Once midnight hits, that potential income is just gone forever. This is our baseline. This is the absolute worst-case scenario we have to avoid. Now let's look at this side by side. It's really a tale of two rooms. On one side, the empty room. It gives you nothing: zero revenue, zero cash flow, and it does absolutely nothing for your visibility online. But on the other side, you book that same room at the last minute, even if it's at a discount. Suddenly, everything changes. You've just created a new revenue stream, you've got immediate cash flow, and this is huge: you've just sent a positive signal to that booking platform's algorithm. That boosts your ranking, making you more visible to the next guest. The difference is just night and day. So this all leads us to the specific advantages of going with a last-minute or LM strategy. Why is this the absolute winning move for the exact market conditions we just talked about? Let's break it down. First and foremost, it turns that unsold inventory into actual money. Turning a zero into something is always a win. Second, it taps into how people actually book travel these days, often with very short notice. Third, like we just saw, it gives your OTA ranking a direct boost. A booked room is a chance for a review, and it tells the algorithm that your property is active and relevant. It also fits a rooms-only model perfectly, because you don't need a bunch of fancy amenities to capture this kind of demand. And finally, the day-to-day operational headache is just significantly lower. Okay, but what about the other major alternative? Focusing on B2B or business-to-business, group bookings. Let's put these two strategies to the test in a direct, head-to-head comparison. No fluff, just the facts. All right, let's get down to brass tacks. We're going to put these two strategies side by side and look at them across the business metrics that really, truly matter right now. Okay, let's just walk through this. Revenue timing. With the last-minute strategy, the cash is immediate. With B2B, you're often waiting for that payment. Now, pricing: LM is dynamic. It adapts in real time. B2B is usually fixed and heavily discounted right from the start. That flows right into the ADR, or average daily rate. With LM, you control any drop in price. With B2B, you're locking in a lower rate from the get-go. Now look at operations. LM gives you flexible, staggered check-ins. B2B means a complex, all-at-once arrival, which can be a nightmare. And finally, product fit. LM is a perfect fit for a rooms-only model. B2B is a weak fit because those groups often expect food and beverage services that just aren't there. When you look at every critical metric for today's reality, the last-minute strategy just wins, hands down. So the big question is, what do we do with all this information? This isn't just about making one choice for today. It's about laying out a clear, phased roadmap that actually leads to sustainable growth down the line. So here's how this all comes together into a smart two-step roadmap. Step 1 is all about focus. Right now, the priority is the last-minute strategy to get that immediate occupancy and cash flow up. Dominate the OTAs. That's job number 1. Then, step 2 is about the future. This is where we can start to develop the B2B side of the business. But, and this is the crucial part, we only do that when we're operationally ready.
That means evolving the product, maybe getting some F&B partnerships in place before we try to scale that channel. It's that classic walk before you run approach. And really, this all boils down to a fundamental shift in mindset. It's this idea right here. Our focus today isn't on filling every room tomorrow, but on maximizing the value of every available room tonight. It's about winning today so that you can build a much stronger tomorrow. The only question left is, how can you start applying this kind of thinking to your own business?